Fridays, we got Rocket League on the docket. As always, week to week. My name is Seymour, joined by D'Lo on the desk. D'Lo, how you doing?
Feeling good here, man. We got some big games lined up here. It's what the build-up's all been for, so I have to imagine they've brought all their chips to the table. Gonna have to see who can put them in and who's gonna fold. But certainly looking for a good showing here from the Triangle region.
You gotta know when to hold them. You gotta know when to fold them. And for both of these teams, I'm sure they're all in at this moment for trying to get to the grand finals, because I like how you kind of talk about, what this has all led up to. Well, we're heading into the semifinals. Best of fives for these teams. Yeah, big moment, D'Lo, for a lot of these schools. And the grand finals kind of on the line for a big prize pool of, pretty sure, if I remember correctly, $25,000 for these regional qualifiers. So a lot of cheddar for these players to be playing for right now, D'Lo. And heading in with Cedar Ridge versus Riverside, our first semifinal for the Tri-Division. Gonna be a fun one.
A lot of cheddar, a lot of stakes here. I mean, that's a lot of saltwater taffy here for these high schools. I don't know what else they're going to be spending it on. Maybe some silly bands? I might be a bit outdated here, dating myself a little bit. But we're off to the races here. Is Liquid looking for an early shot off that corner. Not going to quite succeed, but some good aerial play already being shown here from Cedar Ridge. Going to put Riverside in a bit of danger.
Yeah, there's a time when if you didn't have the right silly bands, you weren't in the click. But
For real?
I'm not sure what the I'm not sure what the deal is. The trend is these days for a lot of these high school kids, what they're going to be spending their cash prize on. But it's getting there first, and it looks like we got a freebie on the line for Love. Riverside strikes first. There's a wide open net bouncing on pass. It looks like it flipped over Liquid. Spurt. Ooh, tough one. Just pinches it off the back wall. And that is perfect for Riverside.
Love to see it, man. I mean, obviously, you're going to have Spur kicking himself a little bit. Just a bit of an overcommittal into that attempted save. Having to make sure you keep that second jump for when you're really sure you've already cleared the ball. Now, normally moving up with the demo. Nice work off the backboard. Who's there to follow it up is the question. Be cleared by Riverside once again. As long as they can maintain this lead that they've gotten so early, they're in a good spot.
Zero gets their nose on it. Doesn't look like Love is in a good position to contest this, but Will anyways popped up. Challenge. Spurk beats out Line Cub, and that's the offensive zone for Cedar Ridge. Intercepted by Zero. A little bit of a tussle in the neutral, but Jamarley going for the dribble right over everybody. Unfortunately for Riverside, it looks like that was a little bit of a pinch off the top of the car. Zero assisting with that. Spikes it right into the top corner.
I was just about to give my flowers there to Jamarley as well for the beautiful corner placement, but it seems Riverside might have had a hand in that one. Yeah. Hey, offensive-wise, whether it's their own goals or the goals that they're allowing their team, the opponents to chip in, their placement's been beautiful. So credit to Riverside. Might next time want to make sure that goes into the opposing team's goal, though. But evens it up 1-1. Riverside doing a good job of, Cedar Ridge doing a good job of making sure they're not going to be kept off that back end here. Can't adopt the defeatist mentality, especially so early on in. Semifinals are high stakes, high action, high octane as we move in here. Full speed. Cedar Ridge there with an attempt at a chip, but we need a bit more
double commit
effort than that. But not the overcommittal once again. Riverside got to make sure they don't make that same mistake we saw with the first goal.
Riverside getting a bit frantic in their net. And Cedar Ridge taking shots from all angles, going from the aerial. Not going to land it. When the net pass intercepted by the defensive side. Riverside now on the counter-attack. Line Cub, though, not able to get anything going for the dribble. It's going to have to be a setup here from Love. Shot into the center. Deflected by Jamarley. Spurk's going to pick it up on the back wall. Nice contest from Riverside. No follow-up, though. It's a 50-50. Toss in the center field. Nice shot down from Liquid. Ooh. Line Cub can't get it in time. And that's back-to-back goals for Cedar Ridge to take a lead.
Liquid's making that shot look wet right now, man. That was beautifully placed. Just couldn't maybe have the resources or just the awareness to get back to that. Riverside now going to be put back on this 2-1 lead here for Cedar Ridge. But we're going to keep it within a goal. It's not going to be that roughest scenario, especially these high schoolers. You got to imagine they have that tenacity. They have that grit, that determination to claw their way back into this one. Now Zero takes it up into the corner. Tipped up high there. Low resources here. So forced to retreat. Question is, will Jamarley have the same offensive resources they had, or defensive resources they had on that offensive end? Ball being kept here on Cedar Ridge's side. They could be in danger.
It's a fast one to the middle, but great defense from Cedar Ridge to just continue to play this ball to the back or the sidewalls. Not allowing any shots for Riverside freely, like we saw that first goal from Love. It's been a little bit trickier for Riverside to get any offensive pressure going. It's a shot downfield, intercepted by Joe Marley in the air. Love now, second one, centered out. The miss into the corner, hits the post for Riverside. A chance for a second. Not yet. No, gonna have to go back to the drawing board. Chance number 2-0. Tries it out a little too hard, and it's fantastic from Jamarli. Gets a piece of it and centered all the way into the other side. Looking here for Cedar Ridge to start themselves an offensive attack, but I was gonna slow it down. Liquid for the clear.
Ooh, Zero having just enough boost in pocket to try to save that one, but Liquid will not be denied. Another goal in the pockets there. Cedar Ridge makes this differential just a bit less easy to ascertain yourselves back into this one. Riverside now facing down 2 goals. And it just so quickly seemed to have gotten out of their hands. Now with 1 minute, 30 seconds left, Seymour, what is Riverside going to be able to do to get back into this one?
And first, they got to get some confidence going, because you haven't seen anything after that first goal. It's been all Cedar Ridge all over the place. The setups for Cedar Ridge, just the shots are a little bit trickier to save. Lots of double commits from Riverside. They need to find some composure. It's a good save in the back wall. So Riverside keep it away from the 4th goal, looking for a way out. Interception again. Jamarli, the 50-50s have been going their way, sticking into the neutral zone. Spurk, chance for 4. Going for the read, misses the shot. Liquid, follow up, sends it high. Backboard's not going to play just yet. Jamarli now sends it wide to the net, the right side. No goals just yet for Cedar Ridge, but they're getting so darn close. Another one's just going to cross the crease. 48 seconds left. I mean, Riverside, they are in so much danger. Finally, Spurk's going to put it in.
That was just good persistence there from Cedar Ridge. They saw it. They smelled blood in the water. They continued to persist after it. You mentioned before, these double commits here from Riverside. We saw it at one point. They managed to block out an attempt from the air from Cedar Ridge, but they committed a lot of resources and 2 players to it, and I think that's going to in the long run. We have plenty more games to play here, and Riverside needs to make adjustments. At this point, 40 seconds left on the clock. It's only game tape, and Spurk's trying to make clips. 5-1 now for Cedar Ridge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Spurk is on one. Look at this. Fancy car work
Beautiful.
To get into the air. Excellent positioning. Shot placement. It's a wide open net, so it doesn't matter where you put it. But hey, Cedar Ridge, they lose the first goal, but that's 5 unanswered now. And it seems like that first is quite a small mistake on their run to potential grand finals. Another one floating in the air. Be smacked away by Love. Sends it down. Spurk 50-50 up and down. Lion Cub going to miss out. So, ball's just in limbo for the moment. Nice touch up there from Liquid. Jamarli looking for the follow-up. It's going to be floating, and it doesn't look like Liquid can get anything on that for the car. So, sent back down. The 3rd player, Spurk, now. Chance for an attack. Sends it up. The good contest there from Riverside. Time draining away. 1 second left. Cedar Ridge lose out on that first goal, but with 5 unanswered, they take game 1.
And you know what? I think knocking it back to what happened here, Riverside, it's hard to remember. It feels like so long ago, Seymour, that we saw Riverside actually took on the first leaderboards. But the issue was, again, the same thing that we're actually seeing here from Riverside be their greatest defensive weakness. The difference between these two, they both are overcommitting a bit in terms of when we see them on defense frantically kind of scrambling for the ball. That's what ended up happening. Spurk ending up using that second jump to just kind of leap right past it, putting a bit too much throttle into it. The difference, though, is Cedar Ridge's offense is so overwhelming. Yeah. Riverside don't even have a chance to find their own attacks. So it doesn't matter if their defense isn't quite shored up to the levels you might expect, because Spurk is on the offensive looking for that corner shot.
I mean, that's 10 shots to 3 in game 1 in favor of Cedar Ridge. 70% differential. My math is correct there, D-Lo. And again, Spurk, open net, wide, hits the post, but Jamarli's there to seal the deal. Riverside need to find a way to create some offensive attempts, because as soon as it goes downfield, it just doesn't look like their rotations are in a good place for them to stop anything that Cedar Ridge throws at them.
Absolutely. I mean, Riverside, that first goal now in game 1, starting to feel like a fluke, but they're here to tell you, hey, we're on the semifinal stage for a reason. We know these players are capable of so much more than they're showing at the moment. They just need to find some adjustments. Zero, trying to adjust here for the corner. Spurk going to move on in. Good 50-50. They're going to send it up high. Liquid's there to meet it. Oh, a big overcommittal could cost you some boost as well as some positional gain here. Liquid off the wall. Zero's waiting to catch, though. having enough resources in pocket. Members of Riverside are looking a bit awkward. All three kind of shuffling their thumbs, not quite sure where they should be standing. Now Spurk gonna tell them this ball's gonna be standing in the goal in just a second. They can't do much about it. Zero must stand for the amount of boost he's got right now because Riverside are starved for resources, but at the very least they clear.
Yeah, they do get a break. Love, though, without those resources, not able to follow up with a shot. Both members of Riverside stuck down. Line Cup doesn't get up for that. It's another double commit. I was going to have to hang it out to the corner. Marley for the toss-up, going for his own follow-up. Spurk's going to send it into the corner, looking for the center. Bounces high and wide, so a little too hard for a follow-up from the team just yet. But Cedar Ridge again, keeping the pressure on. In the air. Line Cup going to call for some assistance. Love over top, clears it to the center field. Spurk, can you stop it at least? You will. No follow-up. Liquid there to help. Chance in the middle for Riverside. Joe Marley's going to miss it, and Line Cup hits. Riverside on the board.
You know what that was? Unfortunately, Spurk got a bit greedy, wanted some resources, stopped at the convenience store to pick up some milk, and while that happened, Riverside drops it in beautifully into the open net. Good job by them recognizing an opportunity. Sometimes it takes an overcommittal. You got to let the team that's on the upside, you got to let them work themselves into bad corners. Maybe it's not going to be Riverside working proactively, but instead reactively to Cedar Ridge, and that could just be your key. And they're going to have to react very quickly because Liquid's up in the air. This offense is just unparalleled here from Cedar Ridge. Unabated aggression on the side of blue.
The patience as well, the boost, just fluttering it into the air. Waits for the mistake from Riverside, and you needed to clear it because Liquid was all over that shot. Unfortunate for Riverside for sure, but it's just plays that Cedar Ridge have been making since game one. And Spurk's looking for a kickoff goal out into the middle. Dangerous. Jamarley there for three. Incredible from Cedar Ridge. And that Spurk just again all over it. How fast off the draw Cedar Ridge look. Nobody there for Riverside to play defense.
It is the wild, wild west right now. We are drawing at 10 paces, and that just might be the number of goals Cedar Ridge can get at this rate. Unless you can defend that one. Jamarley, I don't know where you're trying to send that one, but Zero's going to get it to the intended destination. That was an interesting attempt at defense there, and Riverside's going to finish the job.
It's one of those oopsie moments, the kind of, yeah, you know, I didn't mean to hit it that way. It was a misinput. As simple as that. And it's going to cost them a goal for Cedar Ridge. Riverside cut this lead down to 1. Now looking to equalize. Double commit into the corner. Liquid. Full on boost. Fluttering it to get an aerial going. Not going to get there in time. Bounce it off the ground. That's going to keep the pressure in to the corner. Love not able to beat out Liquid again up top. Spurk now for the drop down. It's beautiful. Spurk is unstoppable.
You just can't ask for better than that. Liquid maintaining those resources just long enough to move the ball in a position where you're confident your teammate can follow it up. That's brilliant game awareness. It's also really good consciousness of your teammates' capabilities here, and that's what it ends up coming down to. Teamwork here. It's a 3v3. You got to make sure that the pieces are slotting in together. Right now, Cedar Ridge working like a well-oiled machine. Jamarley, an absolute machine on offense. Doesn't even need the team. Just says it's only going to be me.
It's
brilliant solo play.
A give and go from Love. Just taps off the back of the car, and Jamarley's there to punish. It's perfect.
He's been so dominant on the offensive plays. Doesn't oftentimes need to have much setup. And that's going to be Liquid as well, saying, I want my moment in the sun. Going to be denied to you for now, but in the corner, could be in trouble. Lion Cub here, low boost, but high determination to get this ball outside of their range of danger. Off the wall here, Love. Waiting to receive. Riverside is going to pitch it up, but that might be just where Cedar Ridge wants it.
Yeah. Into the center. That's on net, and nobody. Where is the defender? You need to cover the post. See, Zero's on the backboard. Loves it in the corner. Another double commit. And where's the third man? In the opposite end. Lion Cub nowhere to be seen. To stop that shot, Cedar Ridge starting to run away with things. 2 minutes left on the clock, so plenty of time technically for Riverside to bring this one back, but they have to solve this enigma of how to beat out Cedar Ridge in a lot of these fancy plays. Everybody fumbles with the ball, and Joe Marley's just able to walk it in.
Saw it, beautifully lined it up. Riverside were just kind of dancing around. And look at there, like the Blue Angels crossed across each other's streams, and it looked beautiful. But the goal was what we're really looking for instead. Cedar Ridge going to put it up 7-2. 2 minutes left on the board. I say at this point, again, we're gathering data here, Seymour. It's a very large differential to try to come back from, especially when Jamarley's putting up shots like that. Way downtown, bang! This man's a sniper.
Yeah, assisted by Liquid. Nobody again from Riverside there. It's 6-goal differential now as it just continues to climb in favor of Cedar Ridge. Riverside struggling to maintain any presence in this game. And you can just see pass and field. Liquid not there to receive it. Jamarley, though, for the assistance is going to go high. Liquid should have a shot. It's going to be on target, but defenders are there. Lion Cub smacks it away. And for the follow-up, a little bit of a whiff. Doesn't go as hard into the corner as you would have wished. Zero waiting at the neutral for the infield pass, though, off the back wall. Shot on target for Love, just a little bit high. Cleared out by Spurk. Zero is going to be able to get a piece of this one off the side wall. Contest it 50-50 up and down. Now for Love. Down over into the offensive zone for Riverside. Let's see if they can make a play off of it. It's going to be tossed up off the backboard. Who's here? It's Liquid to defend it. Sends it back down into Riverside zone.
Now Liquid's on the offensive, and we know Cedar Ridge knows how to close these plays out. All you need is love, is what they always say. Let's see if that indeed proves true. Moves in. All you need is some boost, my friend. Looking a bit rough there in the jet fuel department. Lion Cub going to try to find something off that back wall. No one's there to follow it up quite yet. Big demo there, but where's the follow-up? Zero might have it, but Jamarley stops it in place. Big clear there, dashes the hopes of Riverside for a goal, and Spurk, for just a bit of added disrespect, gets the dagger. 9-2.
Yeah, that should be it. 30 seconds left. No chance for Riverside to come back from this deficit. 7-goal lead. And what do you say here for D'Lo? I mean, Cedar Ridge, it's not a question of, this has been flawless games. There's lots of mistakes in the gameplay of Cedar Ridge, I will say, but it's the fundamentals of Riverside that are just lacking. A lot of misplays, a lot of double commits, not angling the ball on net the way you would hope to. Shots just constantly going high. Nobody really setting up for good 1-2 cuts through the middle of the pitch. And, on the opposite ends, Cedar Ridge, where they lack in the teamwork, they make up in a lot of these individual plays that you're seeing from so many players on Cedar Ridge. And it's where we see ourselves 9-2 at the end of game number 2 for Cedar Ridge. They're up 2-0 in this best of 5. Jamarley with 5 goals, Spurk with a hat trick, and Liquid maybe 1 goal. But that 1 goal that Liquid got, it was beautiful.
Here's the thing. What we're seeing here, just looking at the shots across the board. One, it's an absolute salvo being put here by Cedar Ridge. It is just the firing squad. They are non-stop putting offensive pressure on Riverside. But on the other hand, the 2 shots the Riverside have are both goals. So it's not like they aren't offensively capable of putting themselves on the board. It's the question of, can they find chances, Seymour, to do it? And they need some adjustments for that. You mentioned the fact that Cedar Ridge has been making mistakes, and Riverside needs to recognize that.
Yeah.
Cedar Ridge is also a bit of a liability when it comes to overcommitting on that defense. Riverside needs to try to suss out an opening, force Spurk to maybe use that jump, fly past the ball, and then sink it into an open net.
Game number 3, Riverside looking for the reverse sweep into the grand finals. A lot's going to have to change, D'Lo, if Riverside want to see this win. Cedar Ridge on a warpath right now to get it done. Pass back to Spurk from Jamarley. Sends it high. Liquid not able to get a piece of it. The corner we go. And Spurk for the follow-up. It's in front of the net. You need some defense. There it is. Love sends it out. Maybe gets a piece of it too. Just a little lip of the nose off the crossbar. 4th player of Riverside coming into effect. And it is Riverside now looking to get some offensive pressure, but nothing is on their side.
What you got to remember is certainly what's not on their side is just the set count here. This is set point now. Cedar Ridge, if they take this one home, they take semifinals, they move on. Riverside are at their last, and you might see that being reflected in the gameplay here. Zero soared past. That was very close. Zero soaring past on the defensive end, really trying to put everything they have into these shots. It could end up costing you, but it also could end up having some huge gains as Liquid on the defense once again. Cedar Ridge a bit of an uncharacteristic position here on this back end.
And it's first time we're seeing that one, but the pass from Spurk to Jamarli. 1-2, back of the net. Well, let's run it back. Spurk off the sidewall. 0 not reading the second man. And Cedar Ridge puts the first on the board for game number 3.
I mean, I was saying it was uncharacteristic for Riverside to be on the offensive, but what's not uncharacteristic is for Jamarli to find a nice look from the team, finish the job in spades. Liquid looking to make that 2. Just really try to cement and stamp out any hopes they have. Jamarli with the follow-up there off Liquid, not quite able to find it. Keeps it in the corner, though. Riverside need to find a way to commit without committing just too much for the rest of the defense to cope. Now low boost on Love. Gonna have to retreat for that soon if they want any hope from an aerial offensive. Spurk gonna bring it to you, but a good contest. They're gonna knock it back. Now on the offensive, 0 could find a look. Marley's there to clear it right on back, and now it's centered beautifully here. Not gonna find it though.
Marley, a chance to put that one on target, but I have to battle for it in the corner. Liquid waiting patiently, passed out. Jamarli intercepts it. Spurk there to help, keeps it in the offense for Cedar Ridge. Now Spurk waiting for the dunk up top. Soft touch, but off the crossbar again for Cedar Ridge. There's 2 goals that maybe should have gone in for this team. Oh, Riverside are counting their lucky stars. Spurk now another chance, looking to just bully his way to the net. He does it. 2-0 for Cedar Ridge.
We've seen this multiple times now, these escort missions that Spurk takes from the top ropes, drops it down without any ability to contest. I mean, even though they put up a good fight, just didn't have enough aerial superiority to really challenge this player. Spurk's fundamentals in the air have been so picture perfect here. Now 0, trying to keep their boots on the ground, but that just might not be the way you can win. You need to challenge them in the sky where their dominion is. Can be a good challenge there on the contest, but keeping in the center field so far. Now in the corner, 0 with a look, but Jamarli not going to let that one happen. Stuffs it out. They try to meet him in the air, but unfortunately, just weren't having it.
I was going to pick things up in the neutral immediately, looking for a center pass, not going to get a second touch on it, and that's good defense from Jamarli. Keeping it to the walls, not allowing Riverside any shots on net, and when they are, they're awkward, not direct, and easy to save. Liquid's going to send a body up. This is it. Spurk, though, collects it. Lion Cub, toss it off the wall, not able to get a second one, and it just soars out to the defense there for Cedar Ridge, who and mount themselves a little bit of a counterattack. Good from Love to carry it up into the corner, though not able to dribble. And Riverside, although they have been having a little bit of offensive pressure in this game number 3, it hasn't amounted to anything. Oh! Another chance for Cedar Ridge, hits the post. It's still a 2-0 game.
Jamarli's here, though. Don't need any boost to get it on through. Huge committal. It does pay off. Riverside stays safe for now, but they're still not out of the woods completely. You got 2 goals to make up for and only 1 minute to do it. Spurk's in the sky. Lion Cub's going to try to challenge. That guy's got teeth and claws. Not enough, though. Liquid sinks it home.
Yeah, Liquid. I mean, just look at this. Always there to, I don't want to say, save the day, but just allow that extra bit of oomph to these offensive attacks that Cedar Ridge go for. If it's not Spurk or Jamarli who find themselves the goal, Liquid is there to attempt that 3rd shot. This time it goes in. That is a 3-0 lead for Cedar Ridge. Riverside with a minute left. Gonna have to be another monumental comeback, maybe starting here. Lion Cub's gonna knock it down. Shot there. Spurk easily defends it. 0. Second one. It's Spurk in net. An absolute iron wall.
And right there, another good attempt. Every single teammate from Riverside is trying their best, but they just cannot get past the defense here at Cedar Ridge. Now Lion Cub on the offensive. Gonna say, man, I just can't wait to be king. Just can't wait to get a goal. 0. Gonna break that luck streak. Riverside finally puts himself on the board.
Big games from Cedar Ridge, I'll say it. Big leads, big wins, but it hasn't been flawless. Riverside sneak went in 39 seconds. It's going to have to be 2 for the complete comeback and amount their potential reverse sweep. 34 now. Time's ticking away. Offense again. Going to burst out into the middle. Oh! Gets it early. Love. The goal comes through. Riverside bring it down to 1.
Seymour, you could instantly see the frenetic intensity of Riverside pick up. That one goal gave them 50 cc's of adrenaline right into the engines. I don't know if they can really take that for a car, but they did it. And now they're off to the races here, recognizing a Lion Cub headbutts Liquid, but that man's noggin is just too strong. Love tries to go in again. Not going to be allowed. 20 seconds on the board here, but it's an open net. Love got to save it. They succeed.
Oh, this is it. This is it for Riverside. Last chance, hurrah. Liquid off the wall. Jamarley shot there. Love intercepts it, receives it. Spurka is the bump.
No!
Off the defender into the net. The dagger in the back of Riverside. Seems to be Cedar Ridge is finding themselves in the grand finals with a confirmed 2-goal lead.
You were saying that Liquid's the hero, man. If Liquid's the hero, Spurk's the villain. That has got to hurt. Riverside fought so hard, but 6 seconds left. This might not be enough. They might go to look for the dagger. It's off the backboard. Coming in, here's Jamarley. One last second, but the attempt will not be had. Cedar Ridge, though, take it in 3.
I mean, what a series between these two. It's a 3-0 sweep for Cedar Ridge, but I mean, Riverside, what a rambunctious group of individuals. Love, Zero, Lion Cub. And they're going to be dipping out from the semifinals. Not really putting up the best performance versus Cedar Ridge, but they had their moments. Dilo, I will say, Love there. I wish I saw a little bit more of that kind of high-octane effort towards the back end of this game number 3 across all 3 games. Same thing with Zero. Zero was looking to be that playmaker inside game 3. Lion Cub filling in the gaps quite like Liquid was, but it just wasn't consistent across all 3 games. And you can see for Cedar Ridge that individual prowess that they have, the right just know how to rotate inside of the game, giving them an extra leg up across the series that I don't think that, you saw the same from the side of Riverside. So from this team, I mean, you're walking away from the semifinals, definitely with your heads held low. You're losing 3-0, but there's a lot to learn off of that for the next go-round, the next qualifiers that you find yourself in.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm hoping that these teams can both learn from those, because I think Cedar Ridge has unfortunately got to learn a bit quick because they're going to be moving on to the finals here. But Riverside have some game tape. I think that offensive, you mentioned it, Love needed a bit more love. I think that offensive shown by them, sometimes just one goal, putting yourself on the board can grant you so much energy, so much vitality to get back in there and just really start playing some cars. And they had the Hot Wheels on them, man, but just put on the gas a bit too late. You needed to see that energy and that offensive pressure mounted a bit earlier. But we saw on the scoreboard there, so many more shots on goal this time around. They really were putting everything on the table. But unfortunately, like we said, you got to know when to hold them, got to know when to fold them. Unfortunately, Riverside, they're walking away.
Folding their cards and bowing out. Moving forward, Cedar Ridge now looking for a chance at grand finals. Coming up after this break, we have Havelock versus Northside, our last match of the night for Dilo and I, and the last semifinal that we're going to be crowning a grand finalist for the Triangle Division. Like I said, quick little break. We'll be back with more VESL shortly. Welcome back to VESL Rocket League on Friday night. My name is Seymour. With me, D'Lo. We got Havelock and Northside now for our second semifinal. D'Lo, very excited to see these players go. Hopefully, it's a little bit more close than our last one.
Yeah, 3-0 sweeps, not always what you want to see here, especially in the commentator's booth, but I don't think it quite reflected as well the development that we saw there from Riverside. They really did bring it back to a pretty manageable amount of goal differentials in terms of that game 3. And that's what we need to see here from these players. Evolution, especially when you're competitive at such a young age. There's such a high ceiling for growth, and I'm hoping that's what we're going to see as well in this set. I want to see some punch for counterpunch, some adjustments being made here to counter the strategies of your opposition.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the developments for both of these teams. I have not seen these players in action just yet. This is going to be my first eyes on D'Lo, and possibly even yours too. I don't want to assume if you haven't seen these players or if you have seen these players, but for a lot of them across this best of 5, I feel like it's going to be a lot about the adaptations, the reactions that you make, something that we didn't get to see from Riverside too much against Cedar Ridge. And I'm hoping that this one is a little bit more of a back and forth affair than what we got last time. So let's jump into it. Havelock versus Northside. Havelock in the blue, Northside in the orange. And it looks like off the draw, Havelock winning into the Northside zone.
So actually, in response to what you said, I actually have cast for Havelock before, and they're pretty gosh darn oppressive on the offensive end. I'm looking for this duo of Arcs and Cataclysm to really make havoc here for Northside in the beginning here. But as you can see here, it's actually Habibi stepping up, and instantly Cataclysm makes a goal in 9:20 seconds. I might have cursed Northside. I apologize.
Womp womp in that sense. It's the power that we hold with the words that we say, D'Lo, that we have to be careful for. But yeah, looks like the names have changed up top for some reason. Durham Arts and Reidsville, so maybe not Havelock and Northside. We got fooled, but Durham Arts coming out with a 2-0 lead. Cataclysm going to kick things off with a second one there, so looking for the hat trick early on.
You thought it was me, Havelock, but it was Durham Arts the entire time. Habibi instantly going to make you pay alongside Cataclysm there. That offensive pressure. I mean, I was wrong in what team it was. I was certainly correct in the offensive pressure we're seeing here. Durham Arts, in less than a minute, are already putting on 2, and that's going to be a 3rd for the Marks. Habibi, you're no friend of Reidsville. That is disgusting.
Look at this one off the wall. Soars in, up, and over. No touch from Killer Snipes, so it's a 3-0 lead for Durham Arts off the start of this Triangle Division semifinal game. 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Still lots of time for Reidsville to collect themselves, but I'll be a little bit worried so far with the way that things have gone inside of this first minute of play. Habibi looking for the cross middle. Cataclysm picks it up, tosses it into the air. 50-50 there, but still on target for the net. Macho is out on the cut. Arcs sends it middle. Not able to get a piece of that, though, is Cataclysm. It is going to be sent down into the Durham zone. Chance for a shot. Intercepted and knocked away by Arcs.
Good 50-50 there. They know Durham Arts is very keen of when you need to actually dedicate your resources in Cataclysm. Going to beat one, gets stopped out there by Killer Snipe, but they've not been able to get up any snipes of their own. You mentioned before how we saw a lot of individual play that was able to grant the... by God, I'm already forgetting the team name from before, but that was able to grant them their victory over Riverside. But here from Durham Arts, we're seeing brilliant interplay between these teammates. You saw that pass there from Habibi to Cataclysm, that cross near the goal, and now we're going to see a nice solo play too. They can do it both. Arc's going to arc it in, make it 4-0.
That's sometimes the thing with Rocket League that a lot of teams don't really... I know it's really simple to say, but they don't really think about is just put shots on net. Maybe it goes in, maybe it doesn't. Here, you see Arcs sends one at the net. Nobody there from Reidsville expecting it. Everybody's off rotation, so it's just a freebie for Durham Arts to go up 4-0. Habibi off the draw, sends it high. Cataclysm, the wall, back, Arcs, infield pass. Habibi not in the spot to collect this one. It looks like Macho able to fly above them. Send it into the zone of Durham Arts. Habibi off the wall, pinching in. That's troublesome. Own goal from Habibi. Back flips it into their net. Honestly impressive. I'm pretty sure this was a flip reset from Habibi. And yeah, that's tough.
I mean, either side of the pitch, we're showing off our technical skill here on the side of Durham Arts. Just maybe want to show it those fancy flying moves instead of when you're by Reidsville's net. But They got 3 minutes to work with. They got 3 minutes to show off those moves. Nice pass back there to BB. Gonna maybe open it up there for Macho. Chips it, but maybe a bit too hard, my friend. Gonna try to have that follow-up. Killer snipes a bit off the mark. Might want to get that scope adjusted. Cataclysm now takes to the skies. Razor Rat there to receive.
Flipped up. Arcs is going to pick it up in the air. Oh, the bumps, the team bumps. It is troublesome now for the side of Reidsville. The shot there from Cataclysm. Arcs, a second one high and in the net. Right below the crossbar. Just look at this Reidsville team. Macho is getting in a tango in the corner. Everybody off rotation. Backwards in the net is Razor Rat. Not in a position to save it. And this is starting to look ugly.
This is starting to look like some deja vu. We might any moment see the team names change once again to find the prior matchup. This might just have been the exhibition match. But now Habibi off that wall. Double touch there for a nice and easy 6-1 differential here. Durham Arts are making art here on the pitch.
Yeah, Habibi sneaks it over the rest of them. And yeah, Durham Arts, they're just running away with it. Elo. From Reidsville. I don't want to say this is a skill diff. I don't want to say that they just don't have it in them, but it's starting to look like that. And the experience that Durham Arts have in the team play is one thing. The shots on target is another one. And the ability to control themselves in air is just something that Reidsville hasn't been able to show on their own front. Arcs is going to pick up the pass from Habibi, send it into the zone of Reidsville. Now looking to center it out, drops in front of the net. Double commit there from Reidsville. Looking to counter it out, but it's pinched in front. Cliff does not get a piece of it. Arcs, though, cuts it early off the back wall, follows it up. Save made by Macho. And the 7th goal is not found just yet. No Brazils.
We'll take it for now, but they're already on the attack once again. Cataclysm puts it in the air. Habibi seals it away. 7-1 there for Durham Arts.
It's tough to say for Reidsville. I mean, what needs to change? It's just the fundamental issues for these players, quite like what we saw for Riverside in that second semifinal. Durham Arts are walking all over them, and it's just a barrage of shots back to back to back. Eventually, one is destined to reach the back of the net. For Reidsville, whether it's passing plays, whether it is proper rotations, or just simply shots on target, something has to be found there because Durham Arts look too comfortable.
Look at the beautiful resource management there. The flutter is ideal. Had still, I think, 70 left in the tank. That's just disgusting. That is just disgusting play here from Durham Arts. 8-1 now. 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining. They're liable to get this into the double digits here, Seymour.
Here we go. Last minute of play almost for Reidsville to find some confidence heading into game 2. Team number 1 might be a little out of their reach. Cataclysm going to send it back to Arcs, who toss it into the middle. No follow-up. It's Razor Rat sends one high over towards the offensive side. Cliff is going to take it to the corner again. So back and forth affair between both of these teams. A team bump from Habibi. A little bit on top of Arc, but now just positioning himself over 2 players. Not going to take the shot at the net just yet. Habibi, second one's going to go a little bit to the left of the goal for Reidsville. 37 seconds. They need something out of their own zone. Maybe that demo into Cataclysm can get something going. Centers it out. Arcs gets a piece of it.
Yeah, they had the power play, but just weren't quite able to capitalize. All lingering, and you can see Reidsville are just feeling a bit too hesitant to use their wings, take to the sky, spread them. You got to do something to make sure that you're challenging this movement here from Durham Arts, but I don't blame them for being a bit afraid to when you see this aerial superiority that they're showing here. A big demo on a Cataclysm, but 7 seconds left to get 7 goals. I don't know about that one, Seymour.
2 seconds left. Ball in the air, but not for long. Durham Arts 8-1 in game number 1 of this best of 5. Very comfortable, very quick, and merciless, I will say. For Habibi completing the hat trick and beyond. Cataclysm 2, Arcs 2. Everybody getting a piece of this win over the side of Durham Arts. Shots as well. Just look at how much they dominated in comparison to Reidsville. 1 shot on net from Razor Rat. A goal from Macho, but it was an own goal that Habibi put into the Durham Arts net. Not many stats to go by for Reidsville as they were struggling to really find anything throughout this first game. They did have the 3 demos, so you could see that they were trying to maybe play some physical contact plays against this Durham Arts team, but even that didn't work out, D'Lo.
And you know what? I do like the idea of playing physically. If you can't get your own game plan working, make sure that Durham Arts can't allow their plan to operate. But the issue is solo plays, teamwork, synergy. Durham Arts can really do it all. So even if you take one out of the fight, the other 2 are fully capable of beating you to the post and getting a goal on their 4 wheels alone. So they need to find not only ways of disrupting the opposing team, but ways of getting yourself consolidated. You need to just take a breather. Okay, we lost 8-1. Forget that match. It's now your game 1 if you're Reidsville. Mentally, you need to reset. You need to get your heads in the game. Like the ram that they have as their team mascot. Put your head down, charge forward.
Exactly. Game number 2, ready to go. Reidsville, let's see them out this comeback in game number 2 a little earlier than we saw from Riverside back in our first series. BB is going to miss out. Cliff in a 1 versus 1. Nice read there from Killer Stipes to knock it away from the danger zone of their net. In fact, now starting to bring things into the offensive side for Reidsville, but as soon as they do, it's knocked the other way. Arc sends it to the right. Doesn't look like Habibi's going to be able to cut it. He does, but nice defensive play again from Killer Snipes.
That was close. That was very close. The double commit did end up working out, so credit to them. But when you see these double commits historically in these other sets we've already seen, indication that the pieces are starting to fall into place for your opposition's offense if they're forcing that many players to exit the goal for you. And that's going to leave Durham Arts so many opportunities like this one right here. Habibi sets it up for Cataclysm. Great challenge there from Reidsville.
This is a completely different team from Reidsville. I mean, 4 minutes in and it's not 3-0. Yeah, I'd take that too. Cataclysm starting downfield again. This is going to be tough for Reidsville. He's going for the demo. Macho jumps right over the player. Knocks it into the corner again. A floater. Snipes knocks it down. An own goal for Reidsville. Is Durham up 1.
Durham Art's going to say, how does it feel now? You like that? You like the feeling of knocking the ball into your own? Durham Art's going to make them pay a bit of revenge. Put on. Dish best served cold right now, but I'm sure Reidsville is feeling red hot after that one. They have 4 minutes to play. Still plenty of time to not only make a comeback, but stake your claim over this game too.
He's a rat. Expecting it to drop right on top of his car. Arc says no, can't do. Habibi in the center, waiting for the pass out off the roof. Habibi looking to get there. Won't. Misses it. Cataclysm now off the backboard. 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Reidsville now looking downfield for a counterattack. Habibi's going to be able to stop it. A good read to follow himself up. Sends it deep into the Reidsville side.
I love that positional awareness there. Just stays in place. A lot of players would just commit fully to that chip off the wall, but instead waits in position for it to come back for a better chance to put it in center for the rest of the team. So Durham Arts just got to keep up that momentum. They have 1 shot. You gonna find a second one? No, off the crossbar. Habibi just got robbed. Oh. And Arc's gonna take it for takeaway. Excellent job there. Durham Arts put themselves up.
You gotta break it down at Cataclysm. The way that you slow down the play, slow down the ball off the wall, and then you cut corners over towards Habibi. Habibi, maybe it's awkward off the crossbar, but then you have Arcs from downtown. All 3 members in play for that offensive attack out of Durham Arts, and Reidsville just don't stop these attacks. Habibi now. What happened to Reidsville? The start of the game was such a back and forth affair, and now they're whiffing. They're not rotating again. They're falling into these bad moments that we saw from game 1.
I don't think the question, Seymour, is what happened to Reidsville. It's what Durham Arts are doing to adjust to Reidsville. They're noticing that Reidsville are not liable to challenge in the air. Okay, what's the solution? Bounce shots. Keep the ball when it's about to hit the net at its highest point. Reidsville can't do much to challenge that unless they want to try for these risky overcommittals that they've been liable to do. Now Cataclysm going to be in the air, challenging it. Anyone, please try to take it to me.
Double commit.
Reidsville are going to double commit there. So at the very least, they show that they're still not going to back down. But Habibi going to take it all the way through. Arcs with the follow-up. It's centered, but no one's going to find it.
Cliff now, low shot, easy in the net. Nothing too fancy, simple. That's just putting it on target again. Arcs there, thought you had an angle, but Always that third man for Durham Arts to secure the goal. 4-0 for Durham Arts with 2 minutes and 18 here in game number 2. I mean, Reidsville, for a second, they looked like they made the adaptations necessary, but I wonder if it's frustration. I wonder if it's just a lack of experience against top teams like this, or maybe in Rocket League in general. Or maybe it's just not clicking for this school. Macho's going to send it off the top of Habibi. Arcs in the air, knocks it down. Bouncing over the net. The defender not able to stop it. Again, sailed into the goal by Habibi. Simple as that. Killer snipes. That is, I think, 3 whiffs now that has surmounted into goals.
It's the drop shots, man. The bounce shots, they've recognized the weakness of Reidsville here. They simply cannot challenge these because they're not quite adept at finding the angle and stifling it before it takes to the skies. At that point, Durham Arts already have all the positional advantage they want. We talked about it earlier, Seymour. These rotations, it always feels like the third man. And that's terrible because even if one person on Durham Arts doesn't quite sink it, you know there's going to be another right hook following it. It's going to be Arcs, followed by Habibi, and Cataclysm there just if you need to put the nail in the coffin. Reidsville have to be perfect so many times that it's just not statistically probable and doesn't even feel possible.
Yeah. I think that Reidsville just... You need to count this as a write-off in Game 2 again. And it's going to have to be that Riverside reverse sweep that you and I were asking for and thought we might actually get. But you have to see the Reidsville that we get in the first minute of play from this game number 2 and not anything else. And for Durham Arts, it doesn't seem like they want to let that happen. You can see them always challenging the ball, going for 50-50s, setting up passing plays, doing everything right that you need to if you're Durham Arts. And really, you can't be upset with the play that they're playing if you're a fan of this team. Not many mistakes to go by. Lots of fantastic setups. And even on the defensive side, everybody taking their turn on rotation. Pass out from Snipes. Arc's going to send it middle. Habibi's there for the shot on. It's low. Easily knocked over by Killer Snipes. 22 seconds left.
Not best chances here for Reidsville as we approach the ticking timer. Off on the defensive end has been making some good plays to keep that differential from getting too ridiculous here, but Cataclysm going to beat 2 in the sky. Durham Arts, I mentioned the fact of just how they're so freaking amazing at keeping it centered for all the team. Habibi in the sky, looking to finish this one out. You are disgusting. Durham Arts, much like the mascot, they got that dog in them. Makes it 6-0 with 0 seconds.
I mean, just look at that. You didn't need to get that goal, but you could tell that he wanted to get the goal. 6-0, flawless game for Durham Arts in game number 2, this best of 5, the semifinal 2 of tonight's action. You look back at the stats again, not a whole lot to write home to mom about if you're Reidsville right now. 2 saves for Razor Rat, 1 for Killer Snipes. No shots, no goals, no assists, no demos either. Nothing really for Reidsville to highlight for Durham Arts, who, I mean, no shots on net against you, no saves needed. But you look at the shots on target for Reidsville. Habibi putting 7 at the net, 3 of them going in. Arcs, 2 shots on, both of them turn into goals. Same thing for Cataclysm, a shot on net, it's a goal. Everybody from Durham Arts doing what's necessary to dominate the semifinal. And they want that for grand finals quick, and it might be coming soon.
They got Hot Pockets in the microwave. They're trying to end this as quick as possible. If you do, though, you might want to stop putting in goals and we have to keep watching those cutscenes. So hopefully Durham Arts going to chop down the time just a little bit here. Or maybe Reidsville will just put up a staunch enough defense this time around. There won't be any goals to speak of from Team Blue. But they have to change up significantly for that to be the case here, Seymour. I need a complete restructuring. Go back to the drawing board. Tear off anything you had on there before. And you need to construct a new plan from scratch.
Anything really to get past this team is welcome for Reidsville. Game number 3, I'm sure getting ready for these 2 players. Yes, it is. So teams are locked in for game 3, this best of 5. Durham Arts looking for yet another sweep in the semifinals of our Triangle Division. Reidsville, can they get one on the board here? They went scoreless in game number 2. Off possession in the first one, Arcs, 42 boost, going for the center pass off the wall. Cliff there again. Arcs is looking to send it over to Habibi. Shot on wide to the net. It's perfect placed. Hit that bottom right corner. First goal for Durham.
It was the third man. Again, Arcs tips it off the wall. Cataclysm right back. Arcs puts it in center for Habibi, who's been waiting there the entire time. It's patient play. It's brilliant rotational awareness on offense. It's flawless. Durham Arcs just really can do no wrong. Reidsville, unfortunately, just falling victim to that, not maybe recognizing where the real threat was. It was Habibi lurking in the back now, shining like the star they are, shooting like the star they are through the sky. Could go a bit wide there, but Cataclysm and Arcs are there to shore that one up. Now Habibi in the sky, gonna try to bring it to the backboard. Arcs there to follow it up. It might be the third man once again. Cataclysm could be the trouble you should look for. Going to be sure to staunch that offensive reverse there from Reidsville. They were trying to mount up. And now it's an open net, could be in trouble. Sent right back there. Killer Snipe trying to make sure this does not get anywhere near their net.
Cataclysm, nice defensive knock over towards Habibi. Off the wall, doesn't hit anything off the nose, but it's going to bounce over to two defenders. Dribble over to the net, flicks it over. It's stopped by Macho. Big defensive save for Reidsville. Game stays at 1. He's going to be in the corner of Reidsville. Looks like Durham's going to give some space to collect this boost. Start another attack. It weaves on through them. Threads the needle into the net.
Sometimes you don't need that third man. Sometimes you need a lovely pass from your opposition there. Razor Rat unfortunately sends it right into Cataclysm. Causes an absolute cataclysm. Durham Arts now up 2-0. Reidsville, they need to be a bit more smart about their clears. Durham Arts know how to catch and receive any ball you send their way without any support to follow it up. And if you just carelessly send it as far as you can downfield, that's like me in elementary school soccer. You just kick the ball in the right direction, but if you do that, you're just giving some more momentum to Durham Arts, and they sent it right back at him.
Habibi flying for the ball. Macho's going to beat it out, but stops in the middle. Another defender. Macho hits the deck. This game stays 2-0. 3 minutes 15. Lots of time for Reidsville to get a goal. Once they do, I'm sure that momentum shift is going to ignite some fire inside them. Arcs knocks it down for the backboard. Razor is going to commit to it, but not going to beat out the defender. Steals the boost in the corner, though Cliff steals the one in the middle. Now looking to set up a play off the wall. Habibi sends it into the corner again. Nobody in place for a shot. Everybody fumbling around for Reidsville. Into the center field. Cataclysm's just going to take the easy goal. 3-0 for Durham Arts.
3 minutes left, about on the clock here, Seymour. We're going to keep saying it because it's true. Reidsville still have a way back into this, but it's got to come from mounting your own offense. At this point, it's not going to be one misplay from Durham Arts that even gets you close to being back in this game. It's got to be proactive at this point. You can't just wait sitting on your thumbs for the ball to roll into blue team's net. You're going to have to take some steps. It might involve some risks right now. Cataclysm doesn't need any risk, just needs Reidsville to knock it in for him. Makes it 4-0.
It's fast enough off the shot here. Using that bottom side of the car to launch it at the net. It seemed like Razor Rat thought they'd be able to, stretch for it being as you are the Dominus, but just knocks over the hood and into your own goal. Like you said, tough scenes for Reidsville right now. 4-0 again. It's been 10 and unanswered goals across games 2 and 3 for Durham Arts. That's not counting the 5 that we saw in the first game. And with 2 minutes and 20 seconds, hopes and prayers. That's what Reidsville are asking for. Durham Arts now looking for another offensive side. Pass in the middle for Cataclysm. Arcs going to take their time, slow things down over Razor Rat into the corner, centers out. Habibi looking for the shot, stops it, and the defenders are able to recover.
Hopes and prayers and some pliers to cut the brake wires of Durham Arts. That is what Reidsville are asking for right now. Please look to the Amazon wish list below to contribute. But right now, that GoFundMe, they need to be getting a bit more than just some divine intervention here at this point. Even the gods of Rocket League are saying, yeesh, it's looking a bit rough. 1 minute, 30 seconds, Razor Rat on the offensive, has a look, but he stuffs that one out. Now Arc sets it up for Cataclysm in the midfield. Going to immediately put off the backboard. Who's there to follow it up? It's going to be Arc, the third man. Will it come true? Tips it up high, a bit too high, in fact. Cataclysm there. Going to be tempting to salvage that offensive attempt, but Maybe with the chip up high again. Fantastic aim. These teams are just absolutely insane in their ability to create shots from angles that you just would not think could potentially enter the goal.
That's not the first time that Habibi's done that either. Game 2 and Game 1, Habibi has had shots like that. And,
Gross.
I mean, if it works, it works. But that has to be frustrating if you're Reidsville, as you're looking for your first goal in 2 games. Minute 10 left. Time shortening. Razor Rats go to send one off the backboard. Cataclysm, though, nice backboard defense, is actually going to carry it away from the danger zone. Killer snipes with the whiff, and Arc should be looking for number 6.
Overcommittal. Reidsville right now are asking, what are we on the first date, the way they're committing too hard to this stuff. You got to not get baited in by that. That's a hard thing to say when you're down so far, because it makes sense to go full pedal to the metal. Just at this point, we risk everything or we don't have anything. So I understand the plays. Oh, hold on a second. That was a look almost at the top corner. Double commit there once again. Cataclysm going to be able to stuff that one out without breaking too much of a sweat. Now Arc's moving it down the field. Plenty of boost in pocket. Through the corner. Now centered. Who's there to follow it up? Macho not going to let that one happen. Credit's got to be given here to Macho. Been a fantastic defensive asset to Reidsville.
Yeah, no, Macho's been on fire in net. It's just with all the shots that Durham Arts are taking, Macho can't be the only one looking for a goal. Nice carryover from Cataclysm. Beats out Killer Snipes. Arc's going to clear it. 17 seconds left. Victory laps for Durham Arts right now as they're expecting that grand finals to be theirs. 10 seconds left. Arcs puts the controller down. Everybody celebrating a win. 4 seconds. It's going to be down. A goal is going to come through for Habibi again on the dot. 7-0 for Durham Arts is another flawless victory here in Game 3. Cements them a 3-0 sweep over Reidsville as they go to play Cedar Ridge in the finals.
I think you put it best when we saw Habibi do that exact same thing earlier. They didn't need it. They wanted it, and Durham Arts just wanted that victory more than Reidsville. They put up an effort. We're seeing a bit better stats here across the board, but they could not change well enough to stop Durham Arts from putting on an absolute light show here in this set. Game 1 to game done, Seymour. It was just so impressive from them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that right now when you're looking at a grand final, there's no 2 better teams that I would like to see here than, not Havelock. I thought it was going to be Havelock. But other than Cedar Ridge and now their opponents of Durham Arts within the finals for a big chance there. Sadly, we won't be seeing it D-Lo, but though both of these teams, they deserve this grand final spot, and I can imagine that it is going to be a crazy matchup.
Yeah. Credit to both of the teams that made it on for further. Cedar Ridge and Durham Arts, they're taking those victories, sweeps in kind. So you know they're both going to be approaching with some really good momentum, some good wind in their sails that'll hopefully have them careening into each other with a really grand final, a grand finals there. But also credit there to the losing teams. You know what? It's difficult to keep your heads in the game there when you're facing a sweep. And I hope they really pull some good lessons from this. Look at the game tape, try to capture the good moments, put lightning in a bottle, move it on forward. All you can do here is take what you learn and make it a learning point for you in the future to make sure you can continue to develop as players. So, hey, credit to all the teams that are on the stage here today. It was a lot of fun to watch them play.
Yeah, I'm looking for the revenge tour next season for a lot of these schools, and to see if they can put anything together in the offseason to maybe change up, adapt, get better, improve, everything to learn here, like you said, from losses like this. But it's going to be all said and done for D-Lo and I, folks, tuning in and enjoying. Don't forget to show some love to VESL, as everything they've put together has been such a blast to commentate over. And I think that's going to be all for the playoffs as well. Should be looking towards the finisher for the season of VESL very shortly. So go stay tuned for everything that is VESL on their socials, as we hope to see you soon back on the desk with more esports. Take care. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.